Aaron Banks, losing Dre Greenlaw, Moody, Hafunga, Ward, all those guys. Everyone aside from Ward, he basically, like, this was, off the record, but he was basically like they made way more than he thinks that they were worth. Which, to be fair,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't disagree. Like, I think
Yeah.
that they're good players, and I was sad to see them leave, but I wasn't angry. Like, when I saw what they got, I think I would have been frustrated if the 49ers paid, someone who's only been healthy once in the last 3 years or is turning 31. Like, all those guys made Aaron Banks did not deserve
Yeah,
the deal
Aaron
that he went out
Banks
and got.
got a whole
That
bunch of
was
money,
insane.
and so did
So,
Jalen Moore. I mean, if Jed's point to you was, "No, we're not going to overpay for performance that we
C-level players.
got."
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
actually use that
you can't
analogy that
really
you and I.
disagree with any of that. The only player where they could say that, "No, we wish we had kept him," is Greenlaw.
Yes. I thought that was interesting. We're bouncing all over the place, but someone did ask, um, Kyle how he felt about losing Greenlaw and why, because there was a report that came out that, uh, John Lynch and Kyle flew to Dre Greenlaw's home after he had signed, but it wasn't, like, completely official, his deal with the Broncos, and they tried to make, like, one last final offer, um, and someone asked him, why they didn't. He was like, "We can't force him to sign it." We went there and we tried to give it to him, and I was really glad that one of the reporters pushed back, and they were like, "Well, why did he even get to free agency? Like, why didn't you guys give him that deal to begin with?" And Kyle, I
Exactly.
mean, he's not the one that does the finances, but he didn't really have a reasoning. He's just like,
No.
"Oh,"
Well,
and
and
it
that's the key point. Dre wanted to feel wanted, valued. You need to make that push up front. You don't need
yeah,
to try to say, "Well, gee, you got more money than we expected, so now we're going to come in. Now we're going to offer it." I mean,
yeah,
you don't feel valued that way. It comes across as reactive. What
yeah.
if what a free agent
We didn't
wants
think
is
you were worth it, but it was just
proactive love.
us, but
Yeah, but the Denver Post had a quote that was a killer. It's Greenlaw was raised by an adoptive father, and he said that basically, if you stay with the Niners, you're going to be Scottie Pippen to the MJ. I mean, it's if you want to be MJ, you have to leave because Fred's MJ. You're never going to be MJ if you stay. So go to
yeah.
Denver, and that's what he did.
And maybe this is wishful thinking, because I have heard, like, Greenlaw wanted to make a name for himself. He hasn't,
Yeah,
I think he's should have been a Pro Bowler, all pro player multiple times in his career, but because he plays aside from Fred, he doesn't get the credit he's deserved. I think, and once again, I could be wrong, but I think if the 49ers acknowledged that and with their first offer came and said, like, we know that you're good enough to go be MJ on your own. We think you're so valuable. We want you to stay here and be Scottie Pippen. We're gonna pay you like you're MJ. We're gonna pay you to make that sacrifice.
yeah,
And I think he would have taken it, because I do think, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think obviously his pride and ego, he wants that, but he's also friends with these guys. He loves Robert Saleh. He loves Fred Warner. I think it was the want to make a name for yourself on top of feeling completely disrespected by a deal where it's like, you guys should know that what I'm doing is sacrificing, like, my legend, my name, by being here. And you should reward me for doing that. And instead, you're literally trying to pay me like I am lesser than. And so I'm
right,
gonna go somewhere else where they see me as more. So I
right.
think it was like a combination. I do
Yeah,
think that
it's
there
both.
is some truth to, he wanted, the chance to go make a name for himself, but, and maybe I'm wrong, but I do think if their first offer would have showed that, acknowledged that, and showed him a ton of respect and said, "We're gonna pay you to make that sacrifice," I think maybe he would have stayed. And I think it was the combination of wanting that and then also being disrespected. Because you have to remember, the deal that he was playing on before was also a really team friendly deal. So he's
Yeah,
had multiple team friendly deals now where he's outplayed his contract. And I think he was just like, "All right, enough."
yeah, yeah. He was looking for a multi-year deal that valued his contribution over his 49er career. And they offered him 1 year guaranteed at 10 and with incentives. And that's not enough. So yeah, I agree with you that they needed to show more love up front. that when you react to somebody else making a deal, that it comes across as insincere. It comes across as just trying to put a band-aid on something and saying it's okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. But again, based on the quote from his adoptive father, I think he would have left anyway. But I think that the Niners would have had a better shot had they treated him as you advocate, where it's show the respect of somebody that, yeah, you haven't been named to the Pro Bowl or you haven't been named an all-pro player, but we know you are. And make a way of making him feel that you know that, both in what you're going to offer him and how long. And they didn't, and so they lost him. But they're going to have to move on now, and it's a question of what are they going to do in the draft to try to patch that hole, or do they think the winners can fill it? We'll see.
Yeah, they have a lot to address in the draft.